whoever you're talking about FedEx with, it reminded
Oh
me
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
some wild stories. So I've shared a little bit here and there. The way I make my living is selling firearms, shipping them all over the country.
You're the machine gun
And
guy,
yeah, that's me.
right?
But I mean, the stuff we sell all over isn't quite as fun. Still cool, but machine guns, we don't deal those commercially. That's only law enforcement, that kind of thing.
Right.
So with FedEx, I have a really fun story. This was probably a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. I started to notice that when I shipped guns into Georgia and they entered the Atlanta FedEx hub, it was literally like a coin flip that a gun would go missing. Because anytime a gun goes missing, right, I have to fill out a report. Like I have to tell the feds, I shipped the gun here. We lost tracking here, and then they have to take it from there,
Right.
right? And this started happening just like all the time until finally, the straw that broke the camel's back is I shipped a box with, I think I have 4 AR-15s in it, and it went missing. All right. And then over the period of and that's what made me make the call. Like, okay, we're not shipping FedEx through Georgia anymore because I don't know what the fuck is going on in the Atlanta hub. And I called our local, they're called industry investigators or ATF or ATF rep, essentially, who I have to deal with locally. And basically what she couldn't tell me a whole lot, but basically what she said was that the Atlanta FedEx hub, they have been watching them probably still. I don't know if they've done anything, but they believe that there are big gang members that are in upper management in the Atlanta FedEx hub that are basically pulling firearms off the line and stealing them and helping traffic them all over the place. Because they did actually end up recovering 3 of the 4 rifles that went missing, but they came back one at a time over a span of 6 months. I got one back from Utah, one back from Maine, and one back from New Mexico, and the other one I've never gotten back.
And are they used when you get them back? Or are they still brand new in the package?
It depends on whether they were actually, stolen and made it to the street and then recovered, or whether they went to another hub and they weren't able to finalize trafficking out of the FedEx facility. They're trying to, so what happens is not all businesses do this, but when we ship firearms, the labels don't say anything about the fact that there's a gun in there, right? The company name on the label does not line up with, it's basically a shell company just for shipping, right? So that, fucking Joe Blow driver can't look at it and be like, oh, I know that's a rifle, I can steal it, right? But if you have back-end access as a manager, you can see accounts, and you can see that because anything we ship out goes under a specific, basically a firearms account, right? The FedEx can see that it's regulated. So people in upper management could see, oh, there's a shipment of fucking 300 guns coming in here. Let's make 5 of them disappear, right? And that happens all the time. And the feds basically are almost I mean, it's like drugs, man. They can't really stop it. They take the reports after the fact, and if it turns up, they'll bring them back. But
but are they gonna launch an investigation if this is a routine thing that's happening? They probably just don't have the manpower to do that.
No, they don't. And it's because it's only reported after the fact, it's by the time they get the report, it's it could literally be anywhere. And so basically I made the decision after that last one where I was we're just not fucking sending FedEx to Georgia, period. And it fixed the problem entirely. Like I haven't had like anything go missing down there. Like it is literally there is something going on in the Georgia Atlanta FedEx hub.
Huh.
Uh,
Crazy.
and it yeah, I've never
And
heard
how do
anything
they
about it being
do
resolved.
you insure these packages? Like how does it work? Do they just end up cutting you a check or?
Yeah, if it's in their custody, like the packages do get like they pay out the claim, but like the bigger problem is not, at the end of the day, we don't want people that are going to misuse weapons getting them.
Of
Believe it
course.
or not, gun dealers don't actually want to have guns end up to where people are just going to kill random people with them.
Sure. Yeah, that seems
Uh,
pretty reasonable.
yeah, I know, right?
That's great. And so, but like FedEx is just like, there's nothing. I mean, I know they're a massive company. Like they're probably like, where to even start with this?
Yeah, FedEx is basic because like FedEx was no help at all. I mean, I don't know the names of anyone that worked down there because it's like all I would see, like I have like this fucking cabinet of like, I don't even know, probably at least a dozen guns that the last thing the tracking says is it entered the Atlanta hub and it just disappears. Like it gets scanned in and then there's no updates and we never get it back, or maybe we get it back like a couple of years later, like it turns up somewhere.
Okay, this is going to be really stupid question. So if this is really stupid, I apologize in advance. Is there some way that you could hide an air tag somewhere in a gun, like in an AR-15?
So yeah, so some guys do that. Like if they're shipping a like extremely expensive, like 5-figure plus gun, they will do that. Like you could hide it in a number of places. Like some butt stocks open up for cleaning kits and stuff. There's places inside the receiver that you could stick one if you really wanted to and keep it somewhat hidden. But like when you're just shipping out like relatively cheap commercial guns or receivers,
Right, you don't want
it
to.
doesn't.
Yeah,
It'd
like
be
it
too
doesn't.
expensive to do that.
Yeah, it'd be like $25 a pop. I would do that more out of like curiosity, I guess. I guess, what do you care? But it would be one of those things where you could probably go buy a bunch of old air tags for like you could probably get them for $10. Just
Yeah, it would be an interesting experiment. And we had another case. This was again FedEx. This was a little while longer ago, like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, where a driver. So this was a little bit more sophisticated, and these guys actually ended up getting arrested, and we got a bunch of our shit back at one time. There was a driver that realized that, like, he basically figured out that what we were shipping was firearms and that he had our stuff on his route. So he coordinated with some guy. This was in Michigan, I want to say, and they had like this industrial, this abandoned warehouse that they would, like, he was pretty retarded. Like he would go in the fucking FedEx truck to this warehouse and like drop off a bunch of stolen firearms that he pulls off the back of his truck. And he did that with like, I don't know, like 7 or 8 of ours. Like there's just this town in Michigan where we kept getting like, okay, it'd go out for delivery and then it would never get to the gun store it was supposed to go to. And then like a few months after the last time it happened, we got just like a bunch of shit back, and the FBI was like, yeah, these guys, like they were stealing them, but they hadn't really like figured out a way to sell the stolen firearms.
So they were just like
so the FBI
stockpiling them.
The FBI kicked in the door of this warehouse, and like all the guns that they had stolen were there. And it was ours, and then like a few other distributors stuff was in there.